The origin of a divided people, the extreme standoff of ideologies. We revisited the site of Taebaeksanmaek, the novel which sublimated the gruesome past into a work of literature. Beolgyo, the backdrop city of Taebaeksanmaek, encompasses the wounds of modern Korean history covered in the novel, beginning with the Yosun Rebellion incident in 1948 to the 1953 resistance by Jirisan. In Beolgyo, one can still find the vast fields and boat landing depicted in novelist Jo Jung-rae's novel, and the houses of the public who had no choice but to join Jirisan, or the communist guerrillas. The novelist revisits Beolgyo on this particular day to produce an animation book for teenagers based on Taebaeksanmaek. The rich man Hyun's house, which appears in the beginning of the novel. Step inside the house, which is specially constructed to be taller than any other house in the village, and take in the view of a dignified residence of a wealthy family. The main wing is constructed primarily in traditional Korean han oak fashion, with occasional details of Japanese architecture. The rich man Hyun's residence, built during the Japanese occupation period, has 4 parts: the entrance, main wing, shed, and ancestral shrine. Hangyo Bridge is the oldest of all the bridges crossing across the Beolgyo boat landing. Within the novel, it is called the Hwangye Bridge. The city's name, Beolgyo, also finds its roots in this bridge, as the bridge used to be called Beolgyo when it was only a bundle of logs. Seeing Beolgyo with each component of the backdrop in the same place and same shape as depicted in the book adds to the reality of the novel.
여기는 소설 속에 나오는 김보무의 집입니다. 이 집은 그 위치부터가 전형적인 지주의 집입니다. 넓은 토지가 바라보이는 초입에 자리 잡고 있고, 그리고 그 위치가 높기 때문에 지주는 언제든지 자기가 원할 때 자기가 지배하는 영토를 바라볼 수 있고, 소작인들이 노동하는 것을 지킬 수 있고 감독할 수 있는 것입니다.
The beginning of troubles in the novel Taebaeksanmaek, the antagonism between the landowners and farm laborers, arises over this land. A principal character, Yeom Sang-jin, becomes a socialist in order to overthrow the contradictions surrounding land ownership. The tragic conflict between Yeom Sang-jin and his younger brother Yeom Sang-gu, who joins the extreme rightists and devotes himself to hunting down and capturing socialists, is the microcosm of ideological conflict among the Korean people.
What do you mean, where is it? As soon as they finished the public trial in the front yard of Puk Elementary, they took all of them to Soa Bridge. There were loads of people gathered there, and they made all of them stand in a row and killed them off, saying the people need to watch.
The ideological standoff tragically altered the lives of everyone in Beolgyo.
극우 세력의 상징이랄까 하는 염상구의 표상을 이 철교에서 뛰어내리는 것으로 가장 잘 보여줄 수가 있잖아요.
The novel begins in Beolgyo and expands its scope to Manchuria, Seoul, Busan, and Gangwon-do province. But in the middle of it all is always Beolgyo. Everything that Beolgyo experienced represents the reality of Korea at the time.
근데 벌교라는 지역은 그 2개의 계급, 해방 직후에 지주와 소작이로 갈렸었던 구조적인 계급의 아픔과 괴로움이 가장 잘 드러난 곳이었기 때문에 태백산맥의 무대가 필연적으로 될 수밖에 없었고, 특히 해방되고 나서 귀한 동포, 외국에서 돌아온 동포들이 많았는데 여기 해변을 끼고 있기 때문에 일본에 간 사람들이 많이 돌아와서 사상적인 물이 많이 들었기 때문에 더 그 갈등이 치열해서 태백산맥의 무대로 삼는데 아주 안성맞춤이었습니다.
Sonamsa Temple is situated inside the tender and snug ridges of Jirisan mountain. The temple, inside which the guerrilla Balchisan hid from the police in the novel, is also where Jo Jung-rae was born. 6 years of writing, 17,000 pages of manuscript paper, and 60 main characters. Taebaeksanmaek is truly a modern-day saga. Novelist Jo Jung-rae debuted in 1970 when his novel Disgrace was recommended in the monthly Hyundai Munhak. He took over the monthly literary magazine in 1984 and remained chief editor until the late 1980s. By releasing momentous novels penetrating the core of modern Korean history, Taebaeksanmaek, Arirang, and hankang, Jo Jung-rae has become a grand figure in Korean literature. Haeumsa Temple stands by the road leading into Mount Jiri, which is the scene of the fierce battle between the Balchisan guerrillas and the military. When the Korean War came to a standstill with the involvement of UN forces in China, North Korean soldiers and Balchisan guerrillas lost their path of retreat. They settled around the Mount Jiri region and continued their struggles. The Balchisan fell powerless to police and military suppression. In the end, this is where numerous Balchisan guerrillas faced their glorious final day.
왜 그들은 하나밖에 없는 목숨을 바쳐서 이런 험준한 산악 속에서 살아 죽었을까 하는 게 의문이었는데, 그 의문은 소설을 끝내놓고 20년에 다시 찾은 오늘에도 풀리지가 않습니다. 왜냐하면은 그건 인간의 삶에 대한 역사의 질문이고 회의고, 그리고 또 그 응답은 인간이 무엇인가 물을 데 없는 것처럼 영원히 그 응답을 얻을 수 없기 때문에 그럴지도 모릅니다.
One of the best-selling works of Korean literature, Taebaeksanmaek is the product of novelist Jo Jung-rae's gruesome self-reflection. Once again, he stands in the midst of the graveyard of history and throws us a question about ideology. The question is still alive today because as long as Korea remains divided, Taebaeksanmaek remains the subversive novel of our time.